Rainbow Profits Unlimited coming to you live from almost Snowmageddon, Kentucky in Louisville area. Wow. Glad to have you with us today. Want to give Daniel a big shout out this morning. Thank you, Daniel, for giving me the idea to talk about Snowmageddon. Daniel talked about it on his show today and about different weird snow events all across the world. And so I thought, you know what, man, I'm going to talk about it because I was just yesterday talking with one of our consulting clients about verbiage and things in contracts and, how things look. So that's one of the topics we're going to have today. If you do snow, you're going to love it. If you don't do snow, you're going to love it because it applies to any type of service contract that you're going to write. So, but yeah, that's what we're going to talk a little bit about on today. And we of course we always have a few other things that will go down the shoot off on a tangent on, no doubt about it. But man, I'm excited to be talking about this. I'm excited to be looking forward to seeing how much we can back those snow totals off. Yes, that's true. I love snow, but this is a little bit too much. I don't know what we're going to have. The weather people don't know what we're going to have. That's the reality of it. I mean, we got good ranges, so what we're doing. We're set up, and whatever happens, we'll deal with it. And as long as it's not one of those 7 feet scenarios that Daniel was talking about. I mean, if that happens, and all joking aside, I mean, we're just going to punt. I mean, we'll do what we can do we'll decide who's our favorite customers that we're going to try to keep rolling. Because I'm going to tell you, we don't have the equipment to deal with 7 feet of snow at one time here at WLS. Now, some of you guys may be laughing, oh, yeah, we got plenty of it. I'm up here in Buffalo or Lake Erie area, and that's cool. Hey, I get it. There are those snow belt areas of the country where, you get a hell of a lot of snow, and potentially a lot. Daniel and I were talking about that Buffalo thing a few years ago where, they got 6 or 7 feet, in a pretty quick time frame. I mean, if that happens to us ever, I mean, we got bigger problems than clearing off parking lots and subdivisions. In the reality of it. So, but anyways, hey, I appreciate you guys being with me today. Hope we get some good feedback from you guys. I know a lot of you guys are in line for this. I mean, at some point in time, this thing's just spreading from Arizona, I think, to Maine, and progressing along. So it's definitely a weather anomaly. Is that what you'd call that? Yeah. Yeah. So, gosh, I don't know what in the world the weather guys around here are going to talk about, like Monday. We got a little skiff of snow potentially Wednesday, comparatively speaking to this one, but they dance around for 2 to 4 inches of snow. You ought to see them, man. They're having a hell of a time with it. But anyways, I hope your week's going good. Daniel's going to hop on here with me in a little bit, but and we're going to talk snow. We're going to talk about properly written contracts and what got us squared away at WLS. But before we get into all that, last night I was sitting there and I was talking to Tabitha and I said, we need to take some of these snowmen things down. I think we've manifested this creepy snow we're getting ready to get. And I love snow about as much as anybody. And this is going to be a very significant snow potentially. I think we're anywhere from 12 to 31 inches realistically. I mean, what a hell of a range, right? I mean, we'll deal with it. Like I was telling our guys here, yesterday as we were getting just everything set up and as ready as we could be. Now we're just waiting on the snow. But back in 1994, we had a situation here where we got officially, I think it was like 16 inches or something. But I mean, a lot of the properties, how snow, you get different amounts, different parts of your city, right? I know we plowed a lot of 20-inch plus lots. And when I say we, it was me and my brother. and God rest his soul. He that ruined him on snow for the next 25 years. He just hated snow afterwards, and I get it. We had 20 inches, 20+ inches of snow. Officially, like I said, is around 16, I think. But so we're going to have somewhere in that range again potentially. We'll see. We'll see how it pans out. I'll let y'all know Monday. Hopefully, I don't know. We'll still be working Monday. Maybe we can hop on and do a quick remote Monday, and we'll talk about it a little bit. But we'll see how it's going, where we're at, and what's going on. But we had my brother and I with about the same number of accounts that we're currently doing, and there were two of us, and we were like that guy with a truck, right? A truck and a plow, a little bit of ice melter going on, not a whole lot. But 1994 changed us forever. And we still make subtle changes within the snow and ice management business that we offer here and the service that we offer. But you learn, and that was another thing I was talking about earlier this week, is that contractors, this is going to be a broad spectrum, cover a lot of states, a lot of contractors, a lot of different weather, a lot of heavy freezing rain, a lot of heavy snow, a lot of blended weather, a lot of sleet contamination in certain areas to the snow. And all those create their own management issues. And I mean, that's just the reality of it. So we're going to talk a little bit about that today. And, how can you look at your business? What do you need to do within your business? And what you're going to find out after you get through this, and you'll get through it. Trust me. I mean, the sun will come up tomorrow and the next day and the next day. You'll get through it, but stay calm as you can. Stay calm as you can. And just do them one at a time. That's how you're going to do it. But what I guarantee it's going to do is put a big change in some of you guys that have not experienced a storm like this. It's going to put a big change into the way you operate your business. And you may have everything perfectly lined up right now and not have to change a thing. But until you experience something like this, you really don't know what you don't know. And some of that falls back to verbiage that you've got in your service contract. We changed a lot of verbiage in our service contract, specifically, and I'll cover some of those things, but we changed the way we do our pricing, and it's to our advantage and our customers' advantage. We'll talk a little bit about that. And we'll talk a little bit about anything that you guys want to talk about as it relates to snow and what you're doing to prepare to get ready, for this event, because it's going to be a significant event. The good thing about it is now, I said, hey, in '94 we had all that snow, and it was me and my brother operating a truck, and he ran a truck, I ran a truck, and like I said, our list was about 27 each. And that's not residential driveways. I'll throw that out there. I think we had one residential driveway that we did of that, which up until the point of that kind of snow, it wasn't bad, I mean, hey man, it took us 15, 18 hours to get a snow done or whatever. And it was okay. But what happens is, and this is where it gets into you don't know what you don't know about the verbiage. When you get a snow like this, first and foremost, the first thing we changed was our contract where it said snow removal contract. Because we don't remove anything. Can we? Yes. Will we? Yes. But the verbiage in our contract says snow plowing now since 1994, not snow removal. That's one change we made. And I got a lot of them that I'm going to cover today. But so I don't know what you've got in yours, and maybe you say, well, it's working. That's why I'm going to do it. And if it, hey, keep doing what you're doing, man, if that's what you want to do. But if you want to do it different and better and smarter, you'll listen to this show or this podcast version of this when it's up, and you'll be able to appreciate why the pros do it one way and the Joes do it another way. And Joe, if you're listening to me, man, I didn't mean my buddy Joe. I'm not, that's not a slam to you. It's just Joe rhyme with pros. Let's call it professionals versus just guys with Chuck and a truck. How's that? If your name's Chuck, don't be offended. If you are, too bad. So sad. I don't mean anything, but y'all get my point. You're going to do it professionally, or you're just going to do it like a guy doing some snow plowing. Okay. So if you want to do it professionally, we got to think about what is in our contract all the way around. And that's the core of what we're going to talk about today. But first and foremost, when I get home today, Tabitha and I are going to take some of these snowmen down that we got sitting around the house. I can think of about 5 of them, you know. And I said, damn, I think we've manifested this snowstorm up. You know, we don't have to take them all down, but let's take a few of them down. You know, I never thought I'd be happy to say this, but yeah, let's keep this snow today under a foot. You know, if we can keep it at a foot or under, you know, we'll be all right. You know, I mean, we'll be all right if we get 15 inches or 20 inches or whatever. Only Mother Nature and God knows what's going to happen, you know, but we'll deal with it. But now what we're doing is we're dealing with it instead of just me and my brother. We're dealing it with our whole team here. So we put, 5, 6, 7, and 10. I don't know. Now we're doing it with about, I don't know. I have to think off top. I can't think off the top of my head. 12. I think 10 or 12. 10 or 12 pieces of equipment running, a sidewalk crew running, you know. We're just doing it differently now, you know. But it takes a storm like this to motivate those changes within your business, and you'll subtly make those changes. Or you might, you know, because some of the things I'm going to talk about today, we didn't change in 1994, but we changed as time progressed on from 94 to 2000 to 2005 to current day. You know, just things that came up and changes that we needed to make, because the reality of it is, when we talk about things that are within our service contracts, and if we have a slip and fall, it comes back 99.9%. It's probably 100% really, but I'm just going to say 99% of the time, because there's always going to be an outlier. But if you do have a slip and fall, it's going to come back to the verbiage in the service agreement and the work you completed and how you did it. And if you got a contract that says, hey, I'm going to do snow removal for XYZ company, well, Mr. Vose, y'all didn't remove the snow. It was pushed from there to over in that corner, and now we had a freeze thaw cycle, and we had some refreeze, and it didn't get treated. Where in your contract does it talk about, you know, who's going to be responsible for refreeze and freeze thaw cycles? Or Mr. Vose, it was supposed to, you says removal, but the snow's still on the lot. It's just piled in a big pile in 3 locations. You know, you got piles all over. So that's where it's one of those things where it doesn't matter until it matters. And then you're like, oh God, didn't know that. So I'm trying to help you get past the oh God moment. And I do not mean that sacrilegiously. You know, I want you to get past that moment in your business without having to go through the pain and suffering of learning it the hard way, the school of hard knocks. School of hard knocks is a great teacher, but unfortunately, it's normally expensive and time consuming. So, we're going to talk about snow today, as you can tell. And if we got some time left, we might go on into something else. Depends on how much feedback we get from you guys. But, you know, it all boils down to the verbiage within your service agreement. So let's take a short break. Hey, appreciate you guys being on here today with me here on Profit Time, and got a great discussion I think we're going to have with everybody. So there they are. They're they're they're, they're going they're going somewhere. Where are you going? Do snow anxiety. Where are you doing really? Oh, take my truck. Yeah, it'll be all right if you want. Or you can pull mine out and yeah, good deal. They're gonna Kyle said one of our customers called in and said they want to go ahead and get it treated today. Well, we were going to just roll into things tomorrow. It's supposed to start tomorrow afternoon. So um, there you go. There you go. So what do you think, Daniel? Sounds like everybody's customers are getting excited.
Yeah, some people are saying don't come until, next Thursday, and some people are saying come now. So you got the whole.
Yeah. Or don't come to next Thursday. We've had quite a few phone calls. Katie had to put our message up on our phone, when you call that basically says we're not taking accounts at this time. We don't take accounts on immediately prior to a snow event. I mean, we just don't do it. And because I've learned over on my years that it's creates problems. I mean, it does. It creates problems, and there's no sense in going through it. So we'll see how it goes. So we'll certainly do what they want us to do. And I will say this, Daniel, that our local weather forecasters have done a great job of putting a fear of God in everybody. They do it anyway, even for a small snow. But for this,
I think this is a tricky one for them, though, because a lot of times they want to be by nature dramatic, so people watch and they tune in and all that good stuff. With this one, though, I think there's a little bit of even pullback from them. It seems like I haven't watched it more than just from being in here and having it on, that they don't want to seem like, okay, I don't want to be the one that says, even though there's some models showing we could potentially get more than. So, for example, this morning we were watching and it said 6 to 12 plus,
yeah.
right? So what is 12 plus in the model forecast? It might actually be 6 to 20.
Yeah.
But does whoever that was want to go out on a limb after this is over? If we end up getting 6, they don't want to be the one that said 6 to 20.
Right. Right.
So there's almost even some pullback from the dramaticism, if you want to call it that. That's a word.
Good word for it. If it's not, it should be.
Of what they typically try to do being dramatic. It's like, oh, we want to still be dramatic, but we don't want to be the one that was way off.
Yeah.
If it ends up being, even if it's 10 and you said 20.
Yeah.
Like, even though that's a reality, potential reality that could occur, I'm going to pull back because I don't want to look like the crazy one here.
Right. Yeah, no, that's exactly right. I kind of get that sense from them too, that they are kind of pulling back. And we just watch them in here for the fun of it. We get our good weather stuff from BAM, the one we actually make our decisions on.
Yeah.
But it is
as with BAM, you get that and you get the information. It's not information given to you for the sake of anything other than here's the information.
Yeah. Yes, that is it. They don't oversell it. It's like with them currently, BAM, I'm meaning, okay, here's how crazy this is. They give you a minimum, a likely, and a maximum. And their maximum that they say it's probably 90% unlikely to happen, but could be 36 inches, likely is going to be somewhere around 14 inches. Minimum, regardless, is going to be about 10 inches. So we'll see how it pans out.
Yeah.
But like you said, they don't promote that.
They're not sugarcoating it one way or the other.
Correct. But they say, hey, here's the minimum, here's what's like we think is likely, and here's the maximum based on moisture content that may be available,
Mm-hmm.
you know. So to your point, they don't over dramatize it.
Or care about over they like it. They aren't thinking about the drama of it. Is the whole difference. Like if once again, it just goes back to that example of 6 to 12 plus. Like that's no different than saying six or more. So
Right.
what's the plus?
What
Why aren't you sharing what plus actually is? And that's the difference because their reputation is more based on outside factors and what people like think that what the consumer the non the everyday person thinks
right.
instead of hey, this is scientific information that BAM is sharing. We we can use our brain and use our deductive skills and share what we think is going to happen based on the information. But at the end of the day, people that are subscribed to like a BAM or whatever, they want the information. They don't want you to not give us the information because you think we're going to judge you later based on that.
Right.
Like
No,
that
I think you're
shouldn't play a role
100%
in information dissemination.
dissemination. No, that's right. And but anyway, we'll see. We'll know this time Monday. Monday morning at 10:26 a.m. We'll know for sure what happened and how much we got, and if it was snow, sleet mixed together, or if it was all snow. And that's the thing. We're right on that dividing line of all snow and possible sleet and freezing rain mitigation, I guess they call it, or whatever. I can't think of the word they actually call it, but contamination,
Mm.
contamination. Where so we'll see what happens, but hey, we'll deal with it for sure. We'll deal with it for sure. So, like you said, Daniel, it's good to get the knowledge of what potentially the high side is. And the thing is that, I mean, that high side keeps going up, you know, and so does the likely side keep going up. So we'll see. Potentially some thunder snow for you guys that have not experienced that. Hey, Mike, appreciate you listening to us, buddy. But they said we're probably going to have some thunder snow, so that's really crazy for you guys that may not have experienced thunder or lightning while it's snowing. It's like the first time I experienced it, I was like, wow, what was that?
Mhm.
You know, but it's different to say the least. It's kind of weird when you have lightning and snow, and you're like, damn man, I'm staying in a truck with all this,
Yeah.
moisture outside. If I all this things that could be conducive to the lightning, but I don't know. We'll be glad when this one's over. I know that, but hey, we're as prepared as we could be, and that's what we're going to do. Uh, Mike said, "Wear rubber boots." Yeah, stay in the car.
Yeah.
Yeah, or truck. Don't get out. You're grounded. So that's the thing. But I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what's going on and what ends up happening. But getting back to our snow contract side of it,
I have a question. If you might not know this answer.
I'll
But
try.
from an electricity standpoint,
We need Timmy Hamilton.
yes. If you were to get struck by lightning, but you jumped in the air right before it hit you and you got hit by it in the air,
You wouldn't be grounded,
does
so
it
I
have
don't.
the
I don't
effect?
know. Huh? I don't know. Any experts out there listening to us got an answer for that? If you were going to get struck and you jumped in the air and it hit you, would it be powerful enough just to shoot through you and ground out anyway? I don't know. That's a pretty interesting.
Katie's
Katie's gonna.
Googling it over there.
Katie's researching it for us.
Maybe Robin will be listening and she can
Yeah,
get the
and find out.
details.
Mike said, "Oh man, Daniel, that got my brain in a blender." Yeah.
Oh,
Okay, so
they'll probably
Katie's
know, yeah.
texting her science teacher friend, so we'll find out.
There's Neil deGrasse Tyson when you need him.
Yeah, we ought to call Robin. She wouldn't know, but I don't want to bother Timmy. He's probably working. Well, I mean, Robin's working, but not in a different capacity. So let's see. Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll do that.
To catch
We'll
up on
do that. Mike said the horse's name is Friday. Oh my God, that's hilarious. I'm gonna call Robin. Let's see here. While Katie's doing her research, we're gonna call Robin Hamilton. And should I warn her that she's on the radio?
Yeah.
She no telling what she's gonna say when she answers,
Hello.
but no telling what she's.
Hey, Mr. Mayor, all of just what we got now.
Gosh.
Well, hey, I want to let you know. First of all, we didn't know how you were going to answer, but you're live on the radio. Okay.
I knew it as soon as you answered.
So we got a question. They're talking about thunder, snow, right, and lightning.
Okay.
And you may not know the answer to this, but could you text one of Timmy or somebody in the? I didn't want to bother him. I don't know what he might be doing.
Mhm.
If you just happened to jump up in the air right as lightning was striking you, would you still get electrocuted, or would you not because you were not grounded?
No, you will.
You will. Why?
I mean, because you're not grounded. I mean, you're not. Yeah. You're even going to get electrocuted standing on the ground.
No, we know that, but what we were
Okay.
talking about was if you knew you were going to, the lightning was going to hit you. If you jumped in the air right before, you're no longer grounded, and the lightning hit you, would you still get electrocuted?
I would think so, would be my opinion.
Okay. All right. Well,
Yeah. Yeah. You would. Yeah.
what do you?
It's still going to cook you if it's too hot, too much both soup. No,
Right. I agree.
What's that? Who we got helping back there?
That was Patrick walking through the
Patrick.
shop.
Okay, so Patrick, he thinks that what?
It's going to be
That you would.
too much
That
voltage.
you would. Yeah.
So
Too much power,
potentially,
too much
it
voltage.
would wherever the lightning would exit would blow something off to get grounded, like a foot or toe or arm.
Take a poker highway.
Got electrocuted. But he was in a bucket, but he still got electrocuted, but that came from an actual not lightning.
But
And
he was in a bucket truck. But so does that mean he's grounded or not?
he was working on a live pole though. So that's different. But it come out. It didn't blow anything off. It went through his hand, through his arm, crossed his chest, out his foot.
Hmm. All right.
But that's different. But lightning, I would say yes.
Okay.
That's my guess.
That's your guess.
Yeah,
All right.
That's my final answer.
That's your final answer. Ding, ding, ding. That's your final answer. Okay. All right.
On the game show.
So
No.
what are you guys doing to get prepared for the snow? And then looks like y'all might have more sleet or ice down your all's way. So,
Yeah. The guys are working on a heater that quit working this morning.
oh God. Yeah. That's probably going to be
So-
important.
Yeah, that's important. We just did pick up another generator to run the big heater in the shop, just in case as a backup.
Okay. Well, good deal.
That's about it.
That's,
They're going to work. They're going to work until the snow hits. So they're going to work this weekend
are they?
till they
gotcha.
can't. They're going to work till they can't,
Yeah. That,
just in case
that's
next
that
week.
song, ain't it?
What?
Who sings that song?
Cody Johnson.
Cody Johnson.
That's what it's called.
Till you can't. Yeah, till you can't. Cody Johnson's got a song, Till You Can't.
Cody Johnson. Till
Yeah,
you can't.
something like
Yeah,
I'm gonna hug you and squeeze you and something. Till you can't.
till you can't.
Yeah.
Then we're going to work till we can't.
Yeah. All right. Well, hey, thanks for picking up and thanks for not cussing at me like you normally do. When
I don't normally cuss at you, but okay.
I know.
I thought you were calling to give me the meteorology outlook for the rest of the week.
14 to 31 inches.
Perfect.
No, seriously, that's BAM's high side is 31 inches, but not likely. 14
Yeah.
is where the likely's at, and 10 is where the minimum's at for us. So
For you all.
yours would be different because you're going to have more sleet. They're not
So we're
expecting
not
a lot of sleet in our
we're not going to top the storm of 94 then. Okay.
potentially we could, you know, but because I think that was like 15.7. Well, yeah, well, no, we had 22 in 2 days in 98.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So, and this technically will be a 2 calendar day event, you know, because it's starting tomorrow and, you know, go tomorrow night, which will then be Sunday. So it'll be
Yeah.
2 calendar days. So I'm not into setting no records. I can tell you that. I'd be good.
Me neither.
We'd get 2 to 4 inches and call it a day.
Seems unlikely.
You know, that's not even on the unlikely side at this point.
That
So,
before it's dark Saturday.
yeah, no, that's our forecast before dark Saturday, actually.
Before dark on Sunday. That's right, Daniel.
Yeah. So, anyways,
Well, either way, everybody be safe and careful out there. Whoever's got to work all that cold days and nights in the snow.
true that, man. Well, thanks. And this is our friends that I talk about all the time on my show, Robin and Timmy Hamilton. They're in Bardstown or near Bardstown, Kentucky. If any of you guys are in central Kentucky and need a good welder or a hydraulic guy, they're the man. So, and the woman, I guess, right? Robin actually is the owner. So,
Yeah. Men, women. Yeah, we got it all.
they got it all there. Yeah. All right. Well, hey, y'all have a good one. I'll talk to you later.
Thanks, Wayne. Y'all be careful.
All right.
Bye.
Thanks, Robin. See you. Bye.
Hi, Daniel.
All righty then. So there we go. Let's see. Corey said, pretty sure you're going to die on that side of Quest.
Quest.
I'm having a hard time already, and I ain't even sleep deprived. Oh, Lordy. My buddy, that's funny. That's funny. Mike Murphy. Oh, my God. Mike Murphy said, bring on the ice in Bowling Green. He's holding a picture of his ice skates up, his
Oh, my
hockey
gosh.
skates. Look,
Practice.
he going to be skating down his driveway on the freezing rain. God, I don't want freezing rain. I hate that.
Like Wayne Gretzky out there.
You know, yeah, true that. He'll be ready to rock and roll. So I don't know. We're basically going to start plowing and keep plowing. That's what we're going to do. I mean, you know, that's just it. We're going to start plowing, keep plowing, and
Plow some more.
plow some more. Plow some more. Like Kyle told our crews yesterday, he said, you know, basically what this is going to be is like, you know, if we get 20, 21 inches, we're going to plow 7 3-inch snows. I mean, that won't work out exactly like that.
Yeah.
You know, because your snowfall intensity is going to be different at different times during the storm. But realistically, you know, if you get 20 inches, you're probably going to plow 4 or 5 times, and then a cleanup. You know, it just depends on how it actually comes down. But you can have a plan in place, but know that it needs to get adjusted. And speaking of adjustments, let's get back to what we were initially talking about before we got off on that tangent of thunder, snow, and lightning, and trying to jump in the air to beat Mother Nature. So, you never know. You never know. Another contract change that we made, and this is big on the minds of you snow contractors now, is salt issues, right? You know, trying to find salt and whether the shortage is real or made up. You know, it doesn't matter. The shortage is there. What about the verbiage in your contract for that? You know, does your contract give you the right to charge more for ice melter, even though you've got a signed contract at a price per ton or per pound or however you're charging, you know, for your ice melter? That's something that until you experience something like this for your new guys, you don't think about that. And you just, hey, it's just whatever a ton you're charging, I'm not going to talk about pricing that because everybody's different and I don't want to get into that debate, but um, that's something you need to have in your contract, the verbiage of that. It doesn't have to be a 2-page explanation. It can be very, very simple. I mean, I think ours is just a few lines. It's something to the fact of, in the event of de-icing material shortages. Let me pull up a contract real quick and let's see. Give me a second. Let's see. In the event of de-icing material shortages beyond our control, distribution, availability, supply, etc., Wayne's Lawn Service cannot be held responsible for any issues arising from this issue. Cost per pound or ton of material may increase due to these issues. Should any of these issues occur, you will be notified in writing concerning these same issues prior to our application. So there you go. So it's like the other day. We paid, I think it was outrageous. It was outrageous. But to get some material, it was shipped from Chicago. And Katie, get a calculator. Do this for me. 69 times 23. I think it was around $1,600. Yeah, we paid almost $1,600 just in shipping to get a truckload here. Yeah, it's outrageous, but you know what? It's the only place that we could source it. And we wanted to have it. Did we have to have it? No. Did we need it? Yes. And glad we got it now, But I mean, we ended up with, I don't know, I think it was around 50 tons that were shipped from Chicago, 50 or so, I can't remember exactly. It was on one of those big old semi-looking delivery trucks. It wasn't a normal track, so I'd have to look and see exactly what they brought us. But yeah, I mean, that's what we paid for delivery. That's normally 11, or our market's currently getting $11 to $14 a ton on delivery, so, but we paid it. So we got to pass that. We're going to pass that cost along. We got the right to pass that cost along. So that, again, those are things that you learn. And other things that you learn is you don't put things in your service agreement that say you're going to have about addressing a clear lot. And a lot of contract templates that are given out by some of these national companies when they're looking for subcontractors that you may sign off on say, hey, a clear lot is, lot needs to be clear by 7 a.m. Well, you can't guarantee a clear lot. You can guarantee a response time, hey, within 6 hours of snow starting, or 8 hours, or 4 hours, or whatever you want to, that verbiage you want to use based on your capacity and your route density. But to say a lot's going to be completed or clear by a certain time, the first question you want to ask somebody when they have that in a service contract is say, we'd really love to submit a proposal on this, but we got one question. When's it going to start snowing and when's it going to stop snowing? Well, I don't know, Wayne. Well, neither do we, Miss Smith. But you want me to sign a contract that says I'm going to have your lot cleaned up by 7 a.m. And first of all, I can't sign it because it says clear. But what I can do is tell you that we're going to use reasonable, ordinary, and customary industry standards to provide a safe environment, safe as possible, or something like that. I'm not going to read the verbiage exactly that we're utilizing, but that's it. Because your verbiage is going to be different for each state on how you need to protect yourself. And so that's very important that you look for that side of it. Make sure you don't say anywhere within that service agreement that there's going to have a clear lot, because they're not. In our market, if somebody wants a guaranteed clear lot, then, hey, we're going to provide our snow and ice management services, and that's what they need to be called, not snow removal services, but snow and ice management services. They hire us to manage their risk. That's what you do. We may plow snow, we may physically remove snow, but now whether you're plowing it and or an opportunity to physically remove it after it's been relocated on their property, yeah, we can scoop it, put it in a triaxle dump and haul it off. but you don't want to address it as, hey, we'll do snow removal for $250 for your lot, or $400 for your lot, or $500 for your lot. Because not when your plan is to go in there and just plow it, which is relocating it. So the verbiage that you use is very, very important. So hold on, I just got a text from Robin. She said, call Timmy. Okay. Let's see. We're going to call Timmy here. Dun, 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 dun. We're going to get a good answer to that. Dun, 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 call Timmy Hamilton. This ought to be this will be an outstanding call Timmy Hamilton.
Calling Tim Hamilton, mobile.
Ta-da, here we go. We'll see what. There we go. What do you think that is? Timmy, it's Wayne. You're live on the radio, man. Now we got the expert, right?
I don't know about that part.
Well, hey, we were just talking and we were wondering if, they're talking about having thunder snow, right? And thunder and lightning while it's snowing or sleeting, right?
Okay.
Daniel had this idea. What if you knew you were going to be struck by lightning and you jumped up in the air right as you were going to get hit and you weren't grounded and the lightning hit you while you were in the air, would you still get electrocuted?
You shouldn't be electrocuted, but the lightning would go through you, but it shouldn't affect you.
Okay. So it'll go through you. Now, does that mean it might blow a foot off or something as it comes out, or what happens on the exit?
It shouldn't, because you should be like part of the strike itself.
Okay. So as long as you're off the ground, you should be okay.
You should.
Now,
in my opinion, I don't. I mean, realistically, that's the way it works when, with any kind of voltage.
All right. And Timmy's experience, for you all that don't know, his family previously owned and operated a power line construction and maintenance company. So they understand electricity. He's not just a guy Googling something. So what about rubber boots if you had rubber boots on?
They would have to be awful good ones.
Awful good. So, first of all, the chances of timing your jumps probably impractical of reality, but
probably.
But if you were lucky enough to do it, you'd probably survive it then.
Yeah,
that's cool as hell. What do you think, Daniel?
Pretty wild.
That's when you'd want to have one of those 48-inch vertical leaps.
Yeah, like Michael Jordan.
So you had at least 2 seconds off the ground or something. If I had to jump to try to avoid it, I've got like 0.6 seconds before I'm coming back to earth.
Yeah, me too. I'm probably not going to get high enough off the ground to not affect me.
Yeah. I got that white guy can't jump disease, so.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I saw a guy jump. It had to be 4 feet in the air the other day. I was watching this has nothing to do with this, but I'll share it with you real quick. And then I'll let you go back to work, man. But this guy was on a Family Feud and they won $20,000. And I swear I've never seen anybody jump as high as this guy jumped in the air, Daniel. He had to be 3.5, 4 feet off the ground.
It's pretty impressive.
I'm like, damn.
NBA combat.
That would probably be good.
Yeah, absolutely, man. So, but hey, thanks for letting us call you and find out the answer to that.
Okay.
All right. Well, hold the fort down.
All right.
Hey, if you get bored, if you think you might get bored and you want to come run a plow truck up here, we got a truck we can put you in. Just saying.
Just saying. And mention, speaking of that, I might send Devin by to pick some salt up.
All right. Yeah, that'll be fine, man. If you need a few bags, that'd be good.
Okay.
All right, buddy. We'll see you.
All right. See y'all.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh, my goodness. So there we go. We have the answer.
One more thing on this. I was looking up and got down the rabbit hole here. According to the ChatGPT source here, it's not actually the rubber tires of the car that protect you
On
against the
that,
lightning. It's the metal of the car. So as long as you're completely enclosed and you're not touching any of the metal
all
when it
right.
strikes the car, it it surrounds the electricity goes around the car and then away from it. So it's the metal that attracts it and then shoots it out basically.
Let's see. Corey says if the bolt of lightning came from the sky, ain't no way the 2 feet you jump will make it.
Yeah, you might not have
Yeah.
a good enough little
it-
unless you're on a trampoline. You know, you
Oh,
got
now
for
then you might be
trampoline.
up good enough in the air. Yeah, that's true too. So we'll see what happens. Let's see. Mike said he's looking forward to skating in their freezing rain down there in southern Kentucky. He said he remembers when he was younger, they skated in their front yard after an ice storm, probably in
Wow.
in the 90s,
That's crazy.
1990s, early
It's like
2000s.
what's his name? Bombay from Mighty Ducks.
So we'll see. So for you guys that got a fool with that from an ice situation, man, I'll tell you, it was what I think 2008 or 2009 last time
Yeah.
we
I think it
experienced a
was
big ice storm here,
2009.
and it was over an inch of ice, and that was something. There's a lot of applications of material. Is what it amounts to. We were applying material about every 4 hours, 4 or 5 hours on average, from what I remember. But we managed it pretty daggone well. We kept it from getting solid, is what we were able to do.
Yeah.
You know, it'd start crusting over a little bit by the time we got back. And then what we eventually end up doing after we start getting a lot of that crust and all that going was plowing that off,
Yeah.
and then resalting and starting over again. So we weren't diluting our material down too fast. But yeah, so that's something to think about having in your contracts is about the salt supply issue. Another things you want to have in your contract is, again, here's just a basic line. We have that may be something to think about. We cannot guarantee a clear pavement. So we made it clear we're addressing the word clear, no pun intended. If there are any changes, let's see. Oh, I skipped a line. Let's see. We cannot guarantee a clear pavement at any time. We do guarantee reasonable and ordinary effort to maintain a safe environment during the ongoing event. So there you go. Now we talked also about who's responsible for refreeze, and that's something. Here's how we address it in our contracts. In other words, you get everything cleaned up. It's going to be code, for an extended period of time. And what about though the sun comes out and you get some melting? And then who's responsible to go back and check for those? And is it you or is it your customer's responsibility? And we can set it up either way. Okay. You can go on what's called Ice Watch with us, or otherwise, we have this just in our standard service agreement with our customers. It says after completing our service, we will return at our discretion upon completion, but we will return at your request at any time to check for any refreeze or plowing concerns. If any additional services are required, they will be completed on a time and material basis. So we've put in this particular contract I'm looking at, we've put the responsibility on the client to call us if they've got any refreeze problems, basically is what it amounts to. And these are things that you learn as you go along. And until you start thinking about it, or get a reason to think about it, you don't think about it, and it's just, it can get, so before it becomes a problem, let's not make it a problem. Another thing that we do is we have our customers sign off on ice melter applications, and we have 3 different sign off areas within our contract. And one addresses liquid applications prior to an event where they either say I do or do not want it, and they do or do not want an application of material, and we don't try to define every weather condition, because one day, honest to God, Daniel, you've heard me say this in seminars. I was looking something up, and I can't remember for sure the website. It might have been snowfighters.com or something. But I found something that said there's 6,666 variables potentially in a snow and ice event. So trying to figure out all those could be a challenge. I don't know if that's the right number. It's a weird ass number, number one. But secondly, with all those sixes. But the reality, what I do know from experience, there's a lot of different things that may happen. And this storm is going to be an example of that, quite honestly. With possible sleet, possible freezing rain, snow, a lot of different things going to be going on. But we address it as, you do or you not want an ice melting product applied if weather conditions warrant an application. And that discretion is left to us. Okay. Now, just like Kyle coming in here a minute ago and saying, hey, I'm going to go treat one of our HOAs, because they called and wanted to treat it, then fine. They're being more proactive than we were. We were going to deal with it tomorrow before it snowed, but they wanted to go ahead and get it treated today. So we'll go out and get it done. It's one less we got to do tomorrow, but, and then we have them check off if they want an ice melter application applied after plowing. And you notice I said plowing, not snow removal. Okay, so I guess that's our takeaways from the show today. I'm running out of time, and we got a hard off now, so I can't overlap my time. But the reality of it is, first of all, it's snow plowing, not snow removal. Now, you can offer snow removal, but address that within the pricing. Other than that, call it snow plowing, because really what we're doing is relocating snow from one area on a property to another area on the property. Cover yourself. That's really what it boils down to. If you're not looking out for yourself, who is? And if you guys need any help with any of that on your service agreement side, be happy to help you here. Profits Unlimited. Get in the profit circle with us. You can go to our website. It's profitsrus.com. It's profitsareus.com. And right there, you'll see the profit circle, and you can get in there with us and answer any questions that you got. We do video along with a ton of other things. But webinars, monthly Zooms. It's a great opportunity to be with a great group of professional contractors from throughout the United States, Canada, to share our thoughts on, hey, best management practices. So check that out. And appreciate you listening on my show today. You guys be safe out there this weekend if you're doing snow and ice. If you're not doing snow and ice management, hey, stay inside, make some chili or chicken noodle soup or whatever it is you like, and sit down and watch a good movie, play a game, whatever the hell it is you want to do. Right, Daniel?
There you go.
So, hey, take it easy. We'll talk to you hopefully Monday at 10 a.m., unless we're still out there stuck in the middle of Snowmageddon 2026. We'll see you guys next time. And remember, profit is not a dirty word.